The subconscious is your dutiful slave. It is up to you whether you program it to become your best friend or to be your own worst enemy. And how will we program our subconscious? By the conscious self-talk that we do. It's not what others tell to you. It is what you tell to yourself which counts. Like we physically speak to others, we also speak to ourselves. Even while hearing my talk, your own self-talk happens. You know, he's got a point there. He's stressing this a bit too much. अरे ये दाढ़ी वाला क्या समझता है अपने आप को? So this kind of self-talk goes on within us. And this talk which we engage in with ourselves is of vital importance in our mind management efforts. There's so much of good knowledge and advice going around nowadays. People hear motivational lectures, and after listening, they become inspired. Yes, I must do this and achieve this and become like that. But within 24 hours, the inspiration has completely vanished. Now, what happened? That motivational speaker, was there something wrong in what he said? No, it was good wisdom, may have been incomplete, may have been shallow, but nothing wrong. Then why did it not work? Because it's not what others tell to you. It is what you tell to yourself which counts. After having heard the lecture, you say, you know, that is all very well. Lekin Bhagavan ki maya balwan hai. The maya of God is so powerful. What can I do? Now your own self-talk will neutralize all the good wisdom that you have received. That is the whole problem. We have received so many wonderful gems of knowledge, but we have not internalized them in our subconscious by our own self-talk. So this is the one missing element. Let me give you another example. One Guruji tells his disciple, Beta, lead a simple life. What is this and you keep on eating and your profligate lifestyle? That's not the way to live. Eat boiled food. Maintain celibacy. He says, Guruji, I am a grihasthi. Give lectures according to householders. The kind of food you are talking about, it will not go down my throat. He is not listening to Guruji. Or even if he does, he says, you know, Guruji lectures very well. But the self-talk is not there, so nothing practical. And one day, he develops a cough. Now he goes for his medical checkup and the doctor says, get an x-ray done and bring it to me. The doctor looks at the report and says, you have got TB. Tuberculosis? Doctor, I will die. No, people don't die nowadays with it, but you will have to do exactly what I say. Now his self-talk has changed. If I don't do it, I will die. The realization has dawned. Mr. Doctor, whatever you say, I will do it. The doctor says, look, I will give you the list of fruits and vegetables. You will only eat that. Doctor, I will not think of anything beyond. Close your shop and do bed rest for 15 days. Absolutely, Mr. Doctor. No friends and relatives will come and meet you. No WhatsApp either. I want mental rest. Absolutely, I'll say goodbye to them from far. You need to arrange a big sum of money. It's all arranged. Now look at this person. A minute ago, he was a bhogi. And in 60 seconds, he is transformed to a yogi. He has got detached from the pleasures of the tongue. He has distanced himself from his business, become detached from his relatives, renounced such a big portion of his wealth. How did this transformation come about? Because the realization dawned, this is important. Now the self-talk changed. If I don't do it, I will die. Look at the transformation that took place. Unless we do that self-talk, we listen to the whole lecture, Guruji, that is all very well, but, one but, and we remain where we were. This but is the biggest enemy of sadhana. So, it is up to us how we speak to ourselves. That is why on this spiritual path, it is like the saying goes in English, you can bring a horse to the water, you cannot make it drink. Likewise, any guru can give us good advice, but until we ingest it within ourselves by speaking to our own selves about it, it's not going to become practical. If we repeatedly tell ourselves, I am good for nothing and I am not capable of achieving anything, that is how the subconscious will get programmed. Without realizing it, we go on programming our subconscious for the better or for the worse. The example of the 4-minute mile is a legendary one. Starting from the first modern Olympics in 1896 in Athens, all through the first half of the 20th century, everybody in the world was believing that the mile cannot be run in less than 4 minutes. Doctors gave so many medical reasons. If you try and run faster, you will suffer a cardiac arrest. Somebody else said the lungs just don't have the capacity. So the messages that all athletes were giving to their subconscious was, we cannot run the mile in less than 4 minutes. And yet, there was a student of physical sciences in England called Roger Bannister. He was running the mile in 4 minutes and 11 seconds. But he changed his messages to the subconscious. And he declared it is possible. People said, how can you ever do it? He said, I will show you. And finally, in 1956, he broke the 4-minute mile barrier. Now, that was a feat in itself, but the amazing phenomenon took place after it. In that year, 23 runners broke the 4-minute mile barrier. While in the last 60 years nobody had done it, in the next few months we had 23 people. And then in the next year, 235 people broke that 4-minute mile, which no longer was a barrier. What changed all of a sudden? It was just the conviction in the subconscious of the athletes. So the subconscious is your dutiful slave. It is up to you whether you program it to become your best friend that is consciously pushing to you attitudes of optimism, hope, confidence, faith, or whether you program it to be your own worst enemy that is always pessimistic, diffident, despondent. And how will we program our subconscious? By the conscious self-talk that we do. We must start talking positively to ourselves, constructively and upliftingly. But if you cannot think of anything else, the best is to speak the name of God to yourself. That is what Valmiki did. Kripaluji Maharaj says, Shwas jab khincho tora kahu, man hi man te pyare. Shwas jab chodo to kahu de, dhyan bhi karu pyare. Dhyan bhi karu pyare. He says, with every breath, chant Radhe Shyam, Radhe Shyam. Your subconscious will start becoming divine. We have discussed the importance of programming our subconscious with self-talk and the chanting of the names of God. In the next episode, we will discuss an even more powerful technique to accomplish the endeavor to make the subconscious our best friend.